So Ivan and I grew up in the same neighborhood. I moved in more at the beginning of my teens. And how long have you been
I was in East
in East
Savannah.
Savannah?
I was in East Savannah from a child. I was very young when my parents moved out there. So I've been out there just about all my life.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, when I met Ivan, I was the neighborhood house mouse. I stayed in the house. I was comfortable in the house because I was scared of boys. They literally called me house mouse, and used to ask my brothers and them, tell your sister to come out. And I would I was just comfortable in the house, and like I was very shy when it came to boys. I didn't know anything, and I was just comfortable in the room. And so the neighborhood, my neighborhood name was House Mouse. But I had cousins that used to like to walk to the playground. And that's what they did in the afternoon. That's what the teens did in the afternoon. You want to tell them about the playground?
Well, the playground was the area in the neighborhood that everybody would meet in the evening. It would come out around 5:30, 6 o'clock when the sun started going down. And that was because during the day in Savannah, it used to be like so hot during the day, like 90, 95. And then around 6 o'clock, the temperature started dropping down. So people would come out. Playground was, like I said, was the area where everybody was, they played basketball, football, sit around, ride their bicycles, skateboards. That was the gathering spot for the neighborhood. And the young ladies used to walk up and down the street while the boys would be playing basketball. And of course, some of the boys would be hollering at them, but they would keep walking.
Mm-hmm. So that's the first time I remember seeing Ivan was on the playground, and we were just like he said. My cousins and I were walking past, and he and I think it was two other guys with you. I don't remember which one they were, but hey, and we kept walking, and me for sure. I'm like, oh my God, the whole thing talking to me. And I kept walking, and he was coming. And he had this very distinctive walk because he walk on his toes. It's kind of like a hippity hop walk, and I noticed a couple things, but I was scared to look too much. So they came, and they got to the end of the fence, and he said, and he had a booming voice, always had a very heavy voice. He's like, y'all don't have to say anything, especially that one with them brown pants on. Now there's a little bit of a difference in what you said I had on.
I thought it was short pants. You said long jumpsuit. I don't
It
remember.
was a long jumpsuit.
But I thought it was short.
It was my sister Elfrida's jumpsuit, and
The little tail was sticking out.
what's a tail? Where is a tail?
Your behind was sticking up, pooping up in that little jumpsuit.
I know you were behind me. You like that. You like that. Them curves. But so that's what attracted him to me. Was my tail. Is that what attracted you to me?
Oh, you was cute too. She was very cute.
But I
You used to have them Mars Lane glasses on.
all right, well, I had to see. I couldn't see. I remember having blue ones, black ones, all different kinds.
I think
But
they were black.
those were black.
Yeah.
I started out with blue cat eye when I was younger. But anyway, so he intrigued me, but he was a little too forceful to me, like kind of like in your face. And I knew he used to hang with my brother, one of my brothers. They were friends, and I know he was the wild bunch out there. So I kind of, he kind of just wasn't gonna take no for an answer, because that day, we didn't talk, and I hurried on back home to the house where I was supposed to be. But I saw what happened after that? When did you
Uh,
see me again?
I don't know, it was a couple of weeks later, and you were walking again, and I walked you home, and your mama came out there and ran me away.
Yeah, that's
So
mama.
she came out there and she called you in.
Yeah, she did.
So we just, I don't know, I guess you gave me your number and I started calling you.
Yeah, and I remember the first time you came to the house, Daddy.
He sat in the front room and just stared at me.
He was gonna make sure you wasn't there too long. He sat on the, yeah, he sat there in his pajamas and robe, like it's time to go to bed. You can't stay too long. And but but he couldn't see the little action on the porch.
Mm. I
And,
don't know, was he still watching? I don't know.
huh? No, he wasn't watching. He'd have dragged me into the house. But Ivan was the first guy that I actually kissed. I ain't know nothing about no kissing or nothing else. But we had a front porch, you know that. And we had a front screened in porch. And when he got ready to leave, I went out there with him. And then Daddy, I remember Daddy when you went out the door, Daddy. Daddy went in the bedroom.
The bedroom was real close to the front door.
Yeah, well, he must have didn't peep out there because he didn't see the action that was going on. Oh my God! But that's how we got together, and something happened shortly after that. Something happened to me that I believe, as I think of coming full circle in my life, I believe was the catalyst, the source of why we broke up. Um, Ivan didn't know about it. Nobody in the neighborhood knew about it. Um, but it was something that happened. I talk about it on my blog that uh, just changed my entire opinion of myself. And some of you looking at this, you probably already know what it was, but I became angry and bitter and frustrated, and I didn't feel like I deserved anybody to care for me or love me. And literally, you could say that I drove him away. I did. I know that now, but what did you see? What did you see? Um, the change in me. What did it do to you, or why did you finally
Well,
realize I had to leave her alone?
you used to act mean.
Yeah.
You used to act mean and say hateful things. So I was going like, okay, well, you know, she want to go with somebody else. I thought it was somebody else involved in the picture. I didn't know.
Mm.
So
No, you didn't. I didn't tell anybody. Like
I
I
wasn't the
said.
type to be treated mean, and I was going like, okay, well, she want to go to a different way. I'll go a different way.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
But I think that the caring and how we felt about each other, I don't know if that ever really died. Because my cousin told me that he was hanging out with a chick kind of looked like me a little bit. And
And what cousin was that?
I ain't gonna tell you which cousin it was.
The cousin shouldn't have been minding her own business.
Well, people don't mind their own business. They mind your business. So, yeah. So,
Well,
but anyway.
People go back and tell things.
Yeah, I know. People mind other people's business more than their own. So, but we separated, and he went off to you went off to college. Tell me about that.
Well, after we separated, I started dating and going out dating other girls and everything. And I eventually met one girl my brother introduced me to, and we got together, and eventually we had a little boy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say he was about 1.5 years old when me and her departed ways because she wanted to sow her oats, and I got back after I graduated from college, I came home visiting my mother. And at the time, Maxine had moved around the corner from my mother, and I was walking around there to go see her brother because me and him was really close. And she was, I think she was getting groceries out of the car or something when I saw her.
But what all had happened before that, though? During the time you went to college and I graduated from college, what happened?
Oh, you had got married?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was upstairs in the
I was a
garage.
mess.
Yeah, she got
I
married.
stayed with him 4 months.
She got married, and I didn't even know she was getting married until me and her brother was hanging out, and he said he had to go downstairs to the wedding because he lived in a garage apartment behind the house her and her sister was staying in. And I had no idea she was getting married because we was up, like I said, I used to hang with her brother and some other fellows. We were upstairs in the house. We were drinking beer and stuff and talking. And he said, he jumped up and said, "Oh, I got to go down here to the wedding. I got to be in the wedding in a few minutes." I said, "Who wedding?" He said, "Maxine. Maxine getting married." What? I had no idea she was getting married. But I didn't crash the wedding.
How did that make you feel, though? Because we've been separated for a while.
We've been separated a long time.
Yeah.
I didn't feel nothing. I was just shocked to hear that you was getting married. I didn't know. I mean, we wasn't communicating with each other.
Right.
You know, I was hanging with your brother, but I wasn't seeing you.
No.
Yeah.
I was in my little messed up world.
Yeah, you were in your path, and I was on my path, and it was separate.
But luckily, I had gone to nursing school before this guy. He was like a come back around because he had asked me a year earlier. And sometimes it's your home environment and other things where you don't really think it through. But I had said no. And then a year later, here he comes back again, and I said, got a nice house, got, work, job, and that's wrong reasons all together. But in the year that between the year he had asked and I said no, I started my nursing career. And so after it ended so dramatically and so fast, I went to stay with my sister Edna, who was also going through a situation in hers and just happened to be right around the corner from your mom. And you were already in North Carolina at the time. So at the end of that, I remember that day because I had me a brand new car. I was saving money. I was getting on with my life, trying to get some things straightened out. And lo and behold, that famous walk, I could see that walk. God, that's a very familiar walk. Then I got my grocery out, and you was like, "Don't go in that house." I thought, "Ooh, I know that voice." And from then on, you started coming home every weekend. I would Mama taught us how to cook. We could cook Southern style. So he'd come home on Friday evening, I'd have him a nice little dinner, and my brothers who lived with me, they was happy when Ivan was coming home. They know that I would be cooking. Yeah, and so that's how we got back together. And it was very interesting. He had a son by then, 4-year-old little Ivan, my son.
Yeah.
Sometimes you walk around in circles and then you come back together. So.
That's what we did. We both went our ways, and then we got back together.
Mm-hmm. This is Ivan and Maxine Miller, MaxwellCircle.com. This is our Back Porch Chat series on how we met, how we got together, and that's it. We will see you next time.